there, welcome or welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name is Samantha and this is my channel where I talk all about books. Anyway, today I'm coming to you with one of my end of the year / beginning of the year videos. I had a bit of a crazy December and I just didn't get around to filming all of my end of the year stuff. So I normally do like quite a few videos and I do them all separately, but instead this time around I'm going to combine a few of them so that, you know, it's not too long until they're all up. Anyway, so today I'm coming to you with a video all about goals. So I'm going to be talking about, first of all, talking about the goals that I had last year and whether or not I completed them, and then we're going to talk about the goals that I'm setting for this year in 2023, which also Happy New Year. So I'm just going to chat through my goals from last year. I'm not going to actually like react to that video because first of all that just takes too much time. And this video is already going to be a bit long because I am combining two different videos into one. And second of all, just like I can't be bothered. So here we go. Anyway. So my first goal last year was to post once a week, and that just straight up did not happen. I took quite a few breaks from BookTube last year because I feel like I was just really busy last year. And then when I look back on it, like I actually wasn't, but I think my time management was just so poor last year, and that's something I'm trying to work on this year. That's like one of my own personal goals, is to work on my time management. Yeah, I definitely did not complete that like at all. I don't know how many videos I posted last year, but it was definitely not once a week. I'm sorry about that, but hopefully this year we can get back into the swing of things. I say that every year, but we'll see. My next goal was one that I don't normally do. I don't normally set like a numbers goal, but I did set a numbers goal last year. I wanted to reach 1.25k on YouTube, and that did not happen at all. I actually went down in subscribers last year, which makes a lot of sense because I was barely posting. So I think I like reached 1060 at some point, and then I dropped back down, and now I'm at like 1035 or something like that. And obviously numbers don't really matter. I don't know why I set myself a numbers goal. It's like not important at all to me. What matters more to me is like engagement rather than the number of people watching. Like if I get 5 people watching but all of them comment, that's much nicer to me than having like 60 people watch and nobody leave a comment, you know? I like the interaction. That's why I started BookTube in the first place. Numbers don't really matter. So yeah. The next goal that I had last year was to get my physical TBR down to 0 because I started the year off with 10 books on my physical TBR. And I did a lot of rereads last year, so unfortunately I finished the year with 6 books still on my physical TBR, except it was actually a lot more than that because I did also get some books for Christmas, and I was able to take some books home from the library the other day because we were getting rid of them and we couldn't donate them because they weren't in the best condition. So I took a bunch of books home as well. So my TBR just grew a bunch literally on the last day of the year, but I didn't count that towards like my previous goal because it was like so last minute that there was no way I was gonna get that down to 0. So that's going on like the 2023 TBR instead of the 2022 one. But anyway, I didn't manage to complete this. Yeah, I did a lot of rereads last year. I read a lot of books from the library, and yeah, it just didn't happen. So I finished the year with 6 books, which is really not bad at all. And now I'm back up to 18. Because that's how many books I got in the last week of the year. The next goal I had was to read 52 books, and according to Goodreads I read 55, but then my personal spreadsheet that I use to track says 56, so I don't know what the discrepancy is there, but it was either 55 or 56. I did have quite a few DNFs, so I wouldn't say that I technically finished 52 books, but in my mind I read 52 books, you know? And according to Storygraph I only read 50 because they don't count DNFs, whereas I do. So yeah, somewhere within the 50 to 55 range, that's how many books I read last year. So I did complete that one. Yay! I think that's the first one I actually did. Oh, that's great. The next goal was to work on my digital TBR because I have a lot of ebooks and audiobooks, and I definitely did this. I didn't get this anywhere near 0, but that's okay. I'm not that bothered about it. But I did listen to a bunch of audiobooks last year, and I tried to prioritize the ones that I had on my Audible app because I used to be an Audible subscriber, and when I canceled my subscription I had like 5 credits to use, so I just bought a bunch of random ones, and then I just haven't listened to very many audiobooks since then prior to this year. And then in terms of ebooks, I did read quite a few of those as well, and I actually just got a Kindle for my birthday, so I will be reading more ebooks in the future. Not at the moment because I'm working through a big stack from the library, but that's fine. My next goal was to read more adult books, and in my video I said I wanted it to be like at least 60% adult and new adult titles versus young adult and middle grade. And I think I didn't read any middle grade at all, and then I read like 43% young adult, so I didn't quite meet that target because that means that it would have been 57% adult and new adult. I was 3% shy of completing that goal, but I did definitely read more adult versus young adult. My next goal was to read more historical fiction, and according to my spreadsheet, I read 2 historical fiction books, so that's not great. Although I did actually read some, which basically the spreadsheet I was using, you can't do subgenres. It doesn't have an option for that. And so some books that I was reading were like fantasy and historical fiction, but to me, like the main genre was fantasy. So I'd say it's probably more than 2, but yeah, literally 2. That is such a shame. So yeah, I definitely did not complete that one. The next one I had was to read 1 nonfiction book a month, or, you know, in general, read 12 nonfiction books in the year. And I only read 10. So I was too shy of that, which is kind of a shame, but I did read some nonfiction, which I absolutely loved. And I really liked having this goal to try and like push myself to read more nonfiction. So yeah, I didn't read 1 a month, but I did read 10 nonfiction books, which is definitely more than the year before. So I'm quite proud of myself for that, you know. I almost completed it, but not quite. The last one I had was to do some themed reading vlogs, and I didn't complete this in the slightest. I didn't do it at all. I did have a plan, and there was one that I started. I was gonna do like I don't know if y'all have seen on Instagram like the 12 recommendations from 12 friends for 12 months, where basically you get 12 friends to recommend you a book, and then you read those books throughout the year. So I started that, and I got to the 4th month, and then I just like couldn't get the book that I wanted, and instead of just moving to a different one and coming back to that one, I just stopped. And then I got like 3 months behind, and I was like, okay, well, I can do this, but I'm gonna have to like really try to catch up. And it just didn't happen, obviously. So yeah, that one I just completely scrapped in the end, which is such a shame because I thought that was going to be so fun. And I'm not going to revisit that this year, actually, because I don't like the pressure of having to read certain books, you know? There are a few other ones which I wanted to do, and I would love to do them this year. I just have to really think about it, you know, plan it out. Because there's one which I want to read at like a specific time of year. Actually, no, there are 2 that I want to read at a specific time of year. So I need to like keep that in mind when I'm planning my videos and if I plan my reading. But I'm really trying not to like plan out my reading, because I feel like if I do that, I just don't get anything done. So yeah, those were all of my goals for 2022, and I didn't complete very many of them. What did I complete? I completed 3 out of my 10 goals. Almost 4. But really just 3. Let's hope I do better this year. And with that, let's talk about my goals for 2023. There's gonna be some overlap from last year because I liked some of those goals and I would like to achieve them. So you might get some deja vu, but there are some differences, don't worry. So starting off, goal number 1, post once a week. Same goal as last year. I would really love to post once a week, and if not once a week, you know, like 4 times a month. You know, that's like roughly once a week. I just really miss posting consistently, and like I haven't been keeping up with BookTube. I haven't been posting, and like I really miss it. It is something that I love to do, so it's definitely something that I want to get back into and like doing it regularly. But I do know that might be ambitious because I do have a full-time job, and just like being an adult does take up a lot of time. Like, you know, I have very limited hours where I can actually do things, especially during the week. I do have 1 day off during the week. I work 4 days a week, and then the next week I work 5 days a week, and I like alternate doing that. I do have 1 day off during the week, but I normally have to use that day to like run errands and stuff. And I also go to the gym like 5 days a week, and that takes up like an hour and a half of my time pretty much every day. So yeah, like it's just, being an adult is freaking hard, okay? It's time consuming. But if I can make the time to post videos, I would love to do that. We'll see. My next goal is to get my physical TBR down to, I put 10 on here, and I feel like that's like not pushing myself enough, but I think I'm gonna leave it as 10 for now, because like I said, my unread books has now shot up to 18. It was down to 6, but I got a lot of books right then at the end of the year. So now it's back up to 18. So if I could read at least 8 of my physical books, I would love that. The reason why I'm not setting it higher is because I'm just being realistic. I have a Kindle now, I work at a library, like I just know that I'm gonna get tempted by books that I don't own, but I would love to actually read the books that I do own, especially the books that I've had for a long time, because it's like I've already owned those books for some of them for a few years, and it's like I really need to get to them. Getting my physical TBR down to 10 would be amazing. Even lower would be fantastic, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. My next goal is my like book goal for the year, and I have set it to 1 book. I'm really trying not to focus so much on the numbers, because I feel like every year I set myself a goal of reading like 50 books, or you know, 52, like 1 per week, and then I just get so stressed out, especially because I like on Storygraph and Goodreads it tells you how far behind you are, and that just like I don't need that in my life stressing me out. Like reading should not be stressful, and I think only setting it to one book. Like, I'm gonna complete my goal so early. Like, I still want to set a goal, but I feel like once I've completed that goal, then there's no pressure, and I can reach for more nonfiction or longer books, like long chunky fantasy that I don't really reach for because I'm always thinking, oh no, I need to read more. I don't take into account the number of pages I read. I more take into account the number of books that I read, and I think that that's just like not the most important thing ever. So yeah, I've only set it to one book, and I have actually set a pages goal on Storygraph of 2023 pages, just because, you know, 2023, and also I thought that would be something doable because I think last year I set it to 25,000, and I think I was like 4,000 short, and at the end of the year I was really stressing myself out, like, oh my god, I need to find like just short books that I can read super quickly so I can get to that goal. But it's just completely arbitrary. Like, what's the point? And there is no point. So yeah, I'm setting myself some low goals this year in the hopes that I actually do read a lot, but without putting the pressure on myself to, you know, read those things. And so yeah, I'm kind of focusing on quality over quantity this year. My next goal is to host a readathon, because I still have this readathon planned out. Last year, almost 2 years ago, I came up with this ridiculous idea for a readathon, and I think it's going to be so fun and so silly. And I was going to host it last year, but then I basically decided to try and make it more complicated than it needs to be. Like, I wanted to do it like teams based, and so I tried to get some like other team captains, but I just couldn't find anyone. And then I wanted to host it like in the summer, and then the summer ended, and then, you know, everything got busy, so I just didn't end up hosting it. So I would love to host this. I'm planning for sometime between April and June, like somewhere in there, maybe around Easter. It has nothing to do with Easter, but just like, I feel like that's a time when people might have some time off. I would love to host a readathon because I used to do it from time to time, and I haven't hosted a readathon in like, I don't know, maybe like 7 years, because I've been on BookTube for almost 9 years. It's been a long time since I last hosted a readathon. My next goal is to work on my digital TBR. I already spoke about this. That was my goal for last year, and I definitely succeeded, but like I said, I got a Kindle for my birthday, so I really want to make sure that I am actually reading books from my Kindle instead of it just sitting there, because so far I have not read anything on it, because like I said, I've been reading some books that I got from the library because I was so tempted in my first month that I came home with like 5 books. Like every day I just like, oh, that one looks interesting, that looks interesting, and now I have literally, yeah, I've got 4 books that are out from the library right now, and I must read them as soon as possible. Otherwise, I'm gonna have to return them without reading them. But yeah, I definitely need to work on my digital TBR. It's only been a couple weeks since my birthday, but I feel bad that I haven't actually used it yet. My next goal is similar to last year: read more adult books, specifically at least 50%. I really don't vibe with young adult that much anymore, so I want to make sure that I'm reading adult books. And I think that last year I did a lot of rereads, so those were young adult, and then also I think I gravitated more towards them because I was thinking, oh, these are quick and easy, so I can read more of them. But like I said, I don't really care about how much I read this year. I just want to read stuff that I really enjoy. My next goal is to read 5 historical fiction books. Like I said, I love historical fiction, but I do not reach for it enough. This goes back to like the mindset of like, I have to read a lot. I feel like sometimes historical fiction can be a bit slower, and so I don't reach for it. But I would love to read more historical fiction. We have so many good titles in the library that I see every day, and I'm like, I really want to read this, so I just need to make the time for it. I'm also going to carry over the goal of 1 nonfiction book a month. Like I said, I really enjoyed that, and I love nonfiction. I really want to make sure that I'm reading more of it, because I just think that you can find so many interesting topics in like your specific niche. If you have any niche that you love, like there's so much nonfiction out there that sometimes it can be overwhelming finding one that you enjoy, but I think it's just like, it's worth a go. And I know that I personally strayed away from nonfiction for the longest time because I thought it was all just gonna be like super boring. But like I said, you can find so many niche topics, and actually my 2 favorite books of the year were nonfiction. I haven't filmed that video yet, so wait for it, but it's coming soon. And yeah, both nonfiction books that I adored. Yet again, I sound like a broken record. I want to do my themed reading vlogs. I have 3 themed reading vlogs that I want to do. I really love to actually do them this year instead of saying I'm going to do them and then not actually doing them. So yeah, if I could do those reading vlogs, I would be very happy. And then finally, my last goal is to read for 30 minutes every day before bed, but only for the month of January, because I feel like it's too hard to track it for like a whole year. But I just want to get back into the habit of reading, because basically ever since my fiance Alex had his accident, he is living at my house at the moment, And so we have been watching TV every night before bed, which I love, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to stop doing that. But I feel like before we watch TV, we're always lying in bed like watching reels for like half an hour, or, you know, I do my Duolingo and stuff like that, but which is fine. Duolingo is a good thing to do. But I feel like I just waste time. I spoke about this earlier in the video. I just want to get back into the habit of reading. So I've already like spoken to him about this, and I've said, you know, look, we're still going to watch TV every night together, but I need to set aside half an hour. I will set a timer every night, and I need to read for that time. And if I want to read more, that's great. But I just need to get into the habit of it. I just need to do it every day. And I love it. I did it last night because today's the 2nd of January. I did it last night and I loved it. It was so nice. And it helped me feel a bit sleepier. Like, it was amazing. And I miss doing it because I used to, like, before we lived together, I used to just read every night before bed pretty much. And yeah, I stopped doing it when we moved in together. I'm not blaming him, but I'm just saying, you know, these things happen. Your routine changes a bit when you've got someone else in your life. I definitely want to get back into that. So far, we're 2nd day in and I'm doing well. So yeah, and obviously if I read extra throughout the day, that's fantastic, but I'm not counting that towards the 30 minutes before bed. I want the before bed bit to be the habit, and the extra reading is just extra. It's a bonus. It's great. But anyway, so those are all of my goals for 2023 and my reaction to my 2022 goals. Let me know what goals you have for the year down below. I would love to know. Let me know what your like number goal is for books. I'm just curious because I've been looking at people's challenges on Goodreads, and some people, like, I don't know how you're gonna do it, but like, props to you. People are setting like 150 books and I'm like, wow, I literally could never. I think my most was 89, and that was in 2020 because of the pandemic. Like, I just had like the whole summer inside, so I just read the whole time. So let me know what your goal is. I would love to know, or some of your goals. If you don't have a numbers goal, that's amazing. And if you have a really high one, no judgment to you. I'm just talking about my own personal experience with making reading super competitive. I don't like it anymore, so I want to like just do my own thing, you know, slow down, enjoy books, and then not worry about the numbers. Anyway, but that is all that I have for this video, so I hope you liked it. If you did, please give a thumbs up. If you're new here, feel free to subscribe down below, and I will see you very soon with another video. Bye! Meow, 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 meow. Weirdo, okay. Oh, now you're just gonna listen to me? Okay. Hello there, welcome back to my channel, or if you're new here, hi, my name's Samantha, and this is my channel where I hate you.